Okay, we're looking at mixed exercise 8 from the first year core textbook. We're on question 6, which is an exam question. So first thing we're asked to do is just a basic binomial expansion up to the x cubed term. So you are given the binomial expansion formula, so that is handy. So for us, comparing the general formula to what we're expanding, a is 1, b is minus 2x, and n is 10. So I'm doing 1 minus 2x to the power of 10. So my first term is just going to be 1 to the power of 10. So you can just put 1 there. Yeah, I'll put the powers in just so we can see the pattern, but obviously that is just going to be 1. Then 10 choose 1. The power of 1 will reduce, so that will become 1 to the power of 9, and that will get multiplied by minus 2x. So this is the term I'm looking at here. So 10 choose 1, 1 to the power of 9, and then times minus 2x. So then I've got 10 choose 2. The power of 1 will reduce. The power of minus 2x will increase. And I just need to go to the next term along. So that's going to be 10 choose 3. The power of 1 is going to reduce by 1. And the power of x is going to increase by 1. And that's as far as they wanted me to go. So now we've just got to tidy each of those up. So let's highlight them as we go. So that's my constant term. So 1 to the power of 10. Is just 1. Then my x term. So 10 choose 1 is just 10. So basically it's 10 times 1 times minus 2. So minus 20x. Then I've got 10 choose 2. So my calculator, that's 45. 1 to the power of 8 obviously is just 1. And then just be really careful here, that's all being squared. So that's going to be times minus 2 squared, so times 4. Okay, so that's going to be a positive term. I'm getting that as 180. Yeah, because when you look at that coefficient, the only negative you've got is being squared. So that's going to end up as a positive. Okay, and then the cubed term, so wrong pen. So 10 choose 3, so that's just straight into my calculator. So that's 120, 1 to the power of 7 is just 1, and then minus 2x is all being cubed. So minus 2 cubed is minus 8. We can put that into your calculator. So that will be a negative term. Okay, because I've got a negative cubed, which is still a negative. So I'm getting that to be minus 960. X cubed. I'm just going to double check that before we carry on. So check I haven't made any mistakes. Oh, I'm sorry, one thing. 1 minus 20x plus 180x. Yeah, okay, I'm cool with all that. Okay, and then so then we've got part B. It's quite a common part B to a binomial expansion question. And we're now being asked to use that expansion, so use that answer there, to approximate a value for this. So we expanded 1 minus 2x to the power of 10, and we want to use that to approximate 0.98 to the power of 10. So these questions only really work if the power they're asking for is the same as the power in the expansion that you just did. So if they're both to the power of 10, then I can just lose the power of 10 and say, okay, so I want 1 minus 2x to be 0.98. I'm going to minus the 0.98 from the left-hand side and add the 2x over to the right-hand side. You could minus 1 from the right-hand side, and then you'd have minus 2x equals minus 0.02. But either way, I want to use a value of x equals 0.01. Okay, so then, so that kind of answers the second bit, stating clearly the substitution you have used. Because, of course, you could just type 0.98 to the power of 10 into your calculator. So they definitely need to see you've used the correct method. So basically, I'm substituting that value of x into my expansion from part A. So I do need to just show some method. So I am absolutely going to put this into my calculator, but just show how I am answering the question. So just substituting that in for x. And then, as I said, that is then going straight into my calculator. Okay, so I'm getting that to be 0.81700. So I would write that whole thing out, because that obviously shows I've used the correct method, assuming I've got the correct value. And then I can give it to 3 significant figures. And then what you can do, obviously, is you can check what 0.98 to the power of 10 should be. So we're not necessarily expecting that answer. We do get it to, so let me just write it in a different color. So when I put get the actual value from my calculator, it does actually give me the same answer to 3 significant figures. But obviously they're not exactly the same answer, and I wouldn't expect that. So that's why you've got to really show your working, because if all you've got, even if you've done sort of all the working, if all you've got is 0.817, for all they know, you just type that into your calculator. And I wouldn't actually even write that down. I would just put that to my calculator just to check that my answer was close. And in fact, on that note, let's check that we are correct. Yeah, so they need to see the value of x and then that value written down.